All right, this step's going to be the Jessica method now, or as I would call it, I'm going to solve both to finish the first and second layers at the same time. This is going to be a little bit more complicated, so it's not. This is obviously not going to be as simple as solving the white edges that we just did. Now, first step on here, I got white that I'm done with. Flip the cube so it's upside down, so the white is on the bottom, and keep it on the bottom. Don't move it. Don't move the cube around like when you're trying to find something. Be aware of where you're moving that white face to while you're doing this. Okay, as you're trying to learn this, because there are times you are going to have to rotate the cube so you can see if there's a piece that it's already maybe a white corner piece is already down here somewhere, even if it's in the right location. Like I said, I put the second layer edge in with the white corner. So if I see a white corner, even if it's in the right spot, I'll put it up here in the top layer first, and then match it up with the second layer edge, and then I'll put them in as a pair. That's so there's in one way there. This is where it can be useful to know both the Jessica method and the standard method but I'm only going to show you the Jessica method. Because I honestly forget the algorithm to just solve the second layer edge by itself. I think it's basically it's kind of the same concept of doing the Jessica method anyway. It's just I'm looking for certain visual conditions that I'm going to be teaching you here. Um, so say like right here, I have a white corner, and this is ideal what we have here. Okay, the different conditions you could have here. You might have, let's see if we have any white white on the white layer. Okay, yeah, there's a white corner right here in a white edge but it's in the wrong location. See, it's a green, orange, white, but that's the red and blue face there on the side. So that's in the wrong spot anyway. So, but now, so we're at the moment, we don't care what goes on with that. If we move it somewhere, we move it somewhere. If we get to a point though where once these two are solved, we want to try to avoid moving these, or if they do have to be moved, don't split them up. Okay, once they're already together and in the right location, keep them together. Yeah, they will have to move sometimes to accommodate other stuff, but move them as a pair and remember that they move back. All right, so next you can have white on the sides. This is actually the ideal place to be when you're trying to solve this. And then the next way is if you have white on top on the yellow face. Now, white on yellow, I say, is less ideal. I don't want to see white on top. I want to see white on the side when I'm doing this. So let's go ahead and pick a pair of colors. Now, we got white, blue, red right here. And I need to find the white, blue edge. So the white, blue edge happens to be this one right here. This is actually good orientation here. Now, they're not in the right location. Now, okay. This white, blue, red piece, right now they're oriented wrong. So as you see, they're opposite colors. They got red here but blue on the top on this one. Okay, this piece here really is going to go either right here or right there. We'll figure it out in a second, though. And there's a step, methodology to this that'll help you understand what you're trying to do here. So when you have white on the side, like I said, that's ideal. Now the next thing, rotate the entire cube. Don't rotate any faces because we're trying to solve the white-red corner. Orient the cube so that the red and orange red and blue faces are facing you. So as you see here, I got the red and blue faces facing the camera now. Okay, now here's my this should be my red-blue corner. Okay, now ideally, now when I'm looking at it from this angle here, so I can see both the red and blue faces, and here's my corner that I want. Next question, can I see white from sticking out the side that way? Yes, I do. That's exactly where I want it to be then. The other way would be, okay, now I don't want it right here on any of these spots right here. Because this is the corner that I'm trying to put it in, and if it's the corner I'm trying to put it in, it means there's stuff here that I don't care about. So I don't care what goes on with these. I don't care if they get moved out of position. I don't care if they get split, because they're not where they belong anyway. But so right here, I don't want this corner piece to be where it's at right now. And then if I go this way, if I have it over on the side here, okay, and I'm looking at the red and blue faces, I cannot see white though, so that tells me that's not where I want it to be. I want to put the red and white in a position where I can see the white sticking out, like you can see the white sticking out right here with this other piece that I'm not working with. So I'm going to rotate it back. You see, I still got the red and white side facing me, but now I have, well, actually, I'm on the wrong color, but since I'm on this already, this is perfect. See, I got the red, the orange, and the orange and blue pieces here. The orange are already lined up perfectly. The blue's already lined up perfectly. So, and then now it's just the white. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to this, even though I was trying to work at the red corner, which red and blue corner, which is actually back here. So because I found that condition, I'm gonna go ahead and work this first, then I'll come back to the red and white. Okay, or red and blue and white. So I mean, I don't mean to throw confusion in here, but like I said, this is one of those, see an opportunity to do something more easily, then I'm gonna go ahead and work that first. So now I'm going to change this. So, okay, so here's my two pieces I'm trying to work with. I'm going to rotate the rest of the cube. Yeah, so I'm going to rotate the up face so I can see the red, the orange and blue faces there. So right there. Now I've got orange and blue facing you. And here are the pieces that you have that you're trying to install. Now, rule that you want to look for here, or a condition you want to look for: do not have the corner you're trying to install over the top of where it goes when you're getting ready to install it. Not until you've already moved something else out of place, one of the white edge pieces out of place first before you do it. So again, I want my corner to either be on one of these adjacent corners where my fingers are. So it need to either be in this position or in that position right there. Which one is correct? It depends on where this edge piece ends up. So if I put let's just say I move my top face, my yellow face. If I move it like this and have the blue-orange corner over here on the adjacent side, if my orange-blue edge piece is on the back instead of the adjacent side, then I'm not in the right spot. I want to move this to one of these corners, but move it in the corner that's going to also put the orange and blue edge on the same face that you're trying to work with, that you're actually looking at. So I'm going to move it 180. So now it's over on the adjacent corner, not over the top of where it belongs, but in the adjacent corner. And now the edge piece that is with it is it's also on the same face that you're working with. So the orange face right here, it's in the same face. It's on the same. It's actually on the same side of the cube as where the orange face is. So again, in concept here, you're working with the orange, blue, white pieces. You want to be looking at the orange and blue faces on the side, and then white's down here on the bottom where I'm tapping. Okay, so yeah. Now the next step here. This is where this is exactly where your orange, blue, and white pieces are going to go. Right here, these two spots right here. So what we're going to do next is move these three up in a way where I'm not doing anything at all to these two that I'm trying to work with. Now that I've done that, now I've moved this white piece up, which is fine. So I'm going to rotate this. I'm going to rotate the orange, blue, and white over, so now my corner matches up with the edge that I took out of place. And now once that's there, I'm going to just take the white edge back where it belongs, and you're going to see that this entire corner here is complete. Okay, I got white, all my white cross is still complete like it was. My white, I'm on the corner piece and stuff, I got orange, all orange looking at the orange face. And then I got blue looking at the blue face. So I'm going to do the same process for the other three corners now. But like I said, I'm going to have different conditions here. Now, find my red, because I was already trying to work with red, blue, white earlier. Okay, so here's my red and blue edge, and then here's my red and blue corner. Alright, so next, again, here's my red and blue blue faces. Turn this so that it's the red and blue, the corner piece is on one of these adjacent corners, and you can see white. So if I move it like that, here's my corner I'm working with, and and this is where I want it to be installed. Okay, I don't see white, so that's not the right side. I want to go to the side where I can see white, which will be over here. Again, I don't want it over the top of the corner I'm working with, and I don't want it on the back corner. I want it on the corner where I can actually see white. This is the basic setup. Now, because now in reality, I don't really even need to do this because the condition I see here that I know what I'm looking for, but you don't yet. So I would normally not even have done this. I would have just put it right over the top, right over the corner that it belongs in, because I see red and I see blue. Those are opposite colors, and they're across from each other. Now, just because they're across from each other doesn't mean that they're in the correct location relative to each other. But in this particular case, I already know they are correct. So, as far as getting them to match up next, but now the next, so I'm gonna teach you what you're looking for first. So you got the white, red, and blue here. Okay, still looking at the red and blue face. And then your red and blue, because it's the opposite color that's on top, yeah, instead of red being on top, it's blue on top. The next condition you're going to look for is, like I said, with the white sticking out like that, make the red side match up with the red face. So when you see that, you know that you're in the right spot, or at least relative to this one. Once we've done that, before I get to that point, now, if these colors are the same, which hopefully I'll get to, hopefully I'll end up with one of these corners where it'll work like that, where they're not next to each other, but they're the same color on top. I can show you how to get them to line up with each other. But since they're opposite colors, this is the condition I'm looking for. Got the red and blue, white corner on an adjacent corner, not the back corner, not the front corner, and I have white facing outward. That's the right setup. And then since it's opposite color here, I got the same color showing up right here. Red is on the red face. Okay, next, what I'm going to do, because remember, this location here, I don't care what goes on with it. Nothing's here where it belongs anyway, or nothing's that I'm really working with. So the first step here, I'm going to put my corner here over the top of the corner that it's going to be installed in. So see, it's eventually going to end up right here. But now, like I said, I'm going to match it up with the blue and red piece first. And so the next step there, see, I got blue facing here and blue right here. So when I rotate this like this, the blue is going to match up with the blue. And then when I rotate the cube also, I'll show you that the red is matched up with the red. Okay, so we got the blue lined up with the blue. And then, see, I got red with the red. I'm going to try to keep the cube oriented the same way, so I keep it, when I come back to where I was, I'm still looking at blue and red faces. Okay, now, my pieces are right here. So, I'm in the adjacent corner where I need it to be, but when I have the edge piece matched up with it, I need the edge piece to be on either the red face or the blue face as well. Since I don't have the right condition, like I say, the corner piece is in a right spot, in a good spot, but the edge piece that's with it, that it needs to stay with it, is not in the right spot. So this is not the right location. Okay, next, I'm going to rotate like that. Again, I don't want it to be over the top corner once they're installed together, because I need to bring the white to it first. Somehow, oh, actually, no. Let me move this back. Okay, because it's a real simple process here, because when I bring it back to its position, it's going to go right back in place with the white. So here's the original configuration I just had it in. So remember, red, blue, white is over the top of the corner it belongs in, which is going to be right here. And then here's the piece you're trying to match it up with. So I'm going to rotate them up like that. Now that they're up, I can rotate this white, red, and blue corner back to where the corner is that it goes over. And see how the white's matching up with the white's matching up with the white now? That's good. Now I can take this side back where I found it. And that's that corner is solved. So I got all, yeah. Okay, it looks all white there. All this white side there. The blue is all blue on both the first two layers. The other corner that I had previously solved, well, here's the one I just now solved, the blue, red, and white. So this is all correct. It's all red on red, blue on blue, and then there's that orange on orange that we had previously done. Now we got two more corners to work with, which are these two here. Okay, I see. Okay, now here's two situations here. Oh, actually no. We're gonna find the two orange and the two white pieces, two white corners. And now both of them are facing sideways, so it's ideal. But again, I need to show you what to do if something's not oriented right. So I think, see, because I already have the orange and blue matched up just right with each other, I'm gonna go ahead and just install it like it belongs, I mean, like it already is supposed to be. So orange, okay, here's blue, and then here's orange. Let me put it back. So white's back on bottom, and I got blue and orange. Okay. Or actually, no, that was one of my completed corners anyway. Okay, next. What do you do if your corner's already down here in the bottom? But you need to get it to match up with something. Or what do you do if the white's facing upward? I'm going to create that condition temporarily, so because you might have this situation in your cube that you're working with, because it might be scrambled a different way. All right, so first, all right, I'm going to go ahead and I'll work with this one here because these two belong to each other, but they're not oriented the right way. So I need to split them up anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and intentionally make some bad conditions here with these so you have something to work with. Now I need to split them up now. So it's green and red. So green and red faces over here. So what I can do for that, again, have the green and red face pointing at you. Now I'm going to create the intentionally bad position, so for just learning part, to come up this way. Because like I said, I don't like to see white up on top normally, but you're sometimes going to see white on top when it's time to solve one of these. So I need to show you how to work with that. Okay, so you see here, I'm back to normal. White, got red, blue, and orange. That's all correct. Now I have a white on that's facing up on the yellow face now. So that's a lesson that's not as ideal because it takes me an extra step to get it to match up with the correct corner, and then do another algorithm to move it back to the corner that to actually install it. Versus where if I work with something else first, let's just say, okay, I have the orange, green, white facing sideways right here. Not only in this situation, I'll go for the one that's facing sideways first. The reason why is because this is already set up the way I need it to be set up to work with, to more easily install with the edge piece that goes with it. When white's facing upward, I have to do 3 sets of moves. If I have it on the side like this, I only have to do 2 sets of moves. That's what I'm getting at here. But now if I work with this corner first, I might be able to move this corner, this white, onto a side by just working with this corner, the green, orange, and white corner, and the green and white edge first. And then actually it just so happens the green and white edge is right there. So like I said, if I work with these, I might be able to flip this so the white is facing sideways when I'm done with this, installing this one anyway. If I do that, great. That's less steps I have to work with. So this is just more of the concept, theory here. I can go ahead and install like this, and I'm going to go ahead and intentionally do it like that in a few here. I'll put this back on I'll put this white piece, if it does get rotated back to the side when I'm done installing, working with the orange and green piece, and the orange and green edge, which are right here. Like I said, if this gets rotated back to the sideways, I can show you, hey, it coincidentally got moved to the side at the same time I was working with something else. But if it doesn't, if it does like that, I'm going to go ahead and put this back up so it's like this, so you can see how to work with it and why there's an extra set of steps if you see white facing upward. Okay, so first step here, got orange and green and orange. Again, face the green and orange faces toward you. Next, Okay, here's my white. Again, put the corner in one of these adjacent corners and put it in a way that you can actually see white looking at you. So if I move this way, you can't see the white. It's over here. That's not the right adjacent corner. The adjacent corner that I want is the one right that'll show me white. So I can see white sticking out. And again, here's my green and orange faces. So that means I know that my corner that I'm trying to work with here is going to end up eventually right here in this spot. Now, where's my green and orange edge? I believe that's it right there. Okay, so now it's already where it belongs. It's even oriented exactly right, but I need to get the corner in with it. So next step here, identify which color. If you move it up, now when you're doing this, you're going to also temporarily move the green and white and orange corner down out of the top layer. So because you need to be able to put this up in the top layer and rotate it in the top layer. But you can't move it next to this corner if the corner that you're working with is still in that position. So what we're going to end up doing here is temporarily moving this corner down into the bottom layer. It's just temporary. And now see that now we have the ability to move this where we want to move it to, whichever direction. And then when we put it back, when we get to moving it where it needs to be, then we would put this corner back where it belongs, where it was before. And then we could work on installing. Okay, but right now we're just trying to get them together. So got orange and green and right here or right here. When you're moving it up specifically like that, when you're moving the corner down at the same time you're moving this. The question here is it the same color that's going to be up, or is it the opposite color? Because that's going to determine which way you rotate the up face once you get it to the up face. So I come down here now. Notice that orange is facing up. So when I move this up, move this edge up, and move the corner piece down out of the way, I also have orange showing up. So when that's the case, if it's orange that's also on top, then I'm going to rotate clockwise so that it's in this position. But if it's the opposite color, if it's green that's on top instead of orange, then I would rotate that way and look for green on green. But see, that's opposite right there. So it would be if it was actually green showing up on top after I rotated up, you would actually see green on green, and you have the same condition that we just saw in the previous corner that we worked with. But in this situation here, though, we actually have the same color. So all I have to do is now I'm working with green and orange. I'm trying to keep the green and orange faces facing you on the camera side. So mind you, I'm a little bit confusing for me sometimes because I'm used to looking at it from my own perspective and not from the camera's view. Okay, so I'm going to rotate this way. So now here's my edge piece that I'm working with, and then this is where the corner's going to go back to when I put it back where I found it, or where it was before. So, and then have the edge, the white edge. I'm going to put it back where it belongs. And now I got orange on orange. The green is on green, and we're still right there. So now they're matched up just right. Green, orange, orange, green, green, and here's your white corner. Okay, again, staying with green and orange faces facing you. Go back to that same condition we were looking at before, where I said once they're already matched up, you want them to be on the adjacent corner and the adjacent side. You're trying to get the two pieces together on an adjacent corner and an adjacent side together. Right here, it's in an adjacent corner, but the side's not on the adjacent side. Okay, right here, that's not on the adjacent corner. It's on the corner. It's over the top of where it belongs. That's not where I want it. Okay, right here though, it's on the adjacent corner, and the side is on the adjacent side as well. This is exactly what I want to see here to install it. So now I can work with this corner here where I'm trying to put it, and see, I'm going to come up. Basically, I'm going to move these three up in the opposite direction of where these are at. These three keep together. If you're going to rotate anything at all, move them in a way where these three stay together, but in the opposite direction of where the two are that you've already put together as a unit. Okay, so I'm going to move this side up, which will be the right face or the left face for you. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to put the corner over the top of where it belongs. So this corner is going to move to here, because it's going to end up down here on this next. Because remember, I moved this face over, moved it up temporarily, and I ended up bringing the white up. Basically, I brought the white up to there, and now I'm putting the corner up next to the white, and now I'm going to bring it back down. Okay, so that's it for the third step. So now got all white, except for the one that I haven't done yet, and then have green. And then your orange is all completely done. And then your blue is completely done. And then the first part of your red is done. So now I only have this corner remaining. Now, like I said, I need to show you how to work with a corner piece when the white is facing upwards. So now, as you saw here, this is exactly what I wanted to show you too. If I work with the one that's facing sideways first, maybe I can get this one to face sideways in the process while I'm working with something else. And it just worked out perfectly, because now this was facing upward, now it's facing sideways. So it's one less set of moves I have to move to work with now. If I know what I'm doing, I'm trying to solve it more quickly. But again, this is beginner phase. I'm just trying to teach you how to do things, and not to mention, maybe I did work with something and this did not get moved, and it's going to be facing upward. So I'm going to go ahead and move over. It's actually, no, actually, all right, so come over this way. This is the corner I don't care about. So if I come like this, move this over, and then come back, now I have white facing up on the yellow face. Okay, like I said, if I have white facing up and I'm trying to match it up doing the Jessica method with something else, like in this situation here, these two are actually together. So you got the green, white, and red corner next to the green and red edge, but they're not oriented correctly. Obviously, because they got the white. So I have to do 3 different processes here. First, I got to get the white moved, not only split up from that, but also moved in a way where it's facing sideways instead of up. So I'm going to remember, here's the corner I'm working with right here. And right here, now there's not really a right or wrong way to do this as far as which direction you should go, because I'm going to simultaneously try to split these two up and move this so it's sideways. As long as I'm working with the corner that I'm trying to install it in right here. All right, so I'm going to move these 3 as a unit. I can go this way, so now it's facing sideways. You can see the white that's facing me now. Or I can go this way. It doesn't matter. You can go whichever way you want to go. It doesn't matter which way you go. Just remember, once you've moved it sideways, you're going to move the corner out of the way, basically into the opposite side, either the other adjacent or the far end corner. It's because you know that the reason why is because remember, I'm moving these out of their way also. So, and this one right now, I don't care what's going on with these two. I only care about splitting this up from the other piece so I can orient it correctly. I can't orient it correctly if they're next to each other. So I'm going to come up like this. When I come up like this, I know I have to do this same move back. So knowing this, okay, this corner, notice this position here is moving with it when I'm moving that way. So when I have this here, it's not helping me. I need to move this somewhere where this corner is not moving, and then I can move this face back without affecting this. So, and I don't care what goes on with the top layer right now because I'm not working with the top layer yet. I'll do that later. So I'm going to go ahead and move this out of the way like that, and now I can move this back where I found it. Now my edges are back where they belong. Okay, now here's my red and green edge. Here's my red, white, and green corner. Now that I have them split up and the white facing sideways, now I can work on putting them back together. And then after they're put back together, then I can work on installing them in the corner they belong in. Okay, again, so I want I got green and red facing me, or you in your case now because of the video, the demonstration here. I'm trying to keep my fingers in a way where I'm not, where I can make it easy for you to see. Okay. So remember, this is the corner that it's going to go over. These are adjacent corners, and then that's the opposite corner. Right now it's in the opposite corner. I don't want it in the opposite corner. I want it in the adjacent corner. So I need it either there or there. And remember, I want it on whichever one of these adjacent corners is going to allow me to see white with it. So right there, I don't see white. So I can come back to the other corner here. I do see white. This is where I want it. All right, here's my green and red piece right here. So now I need it's oriented the correct way, but I need to move it next to the red. It's going to either go right there or right there. Because it's green over here, I don't want green to line up with white. So that tells me that's not where I want it to be. I want it to be specifically right there. Remember, these three here, I can move however I want and not worry about anything because nothing over here is where it belongs in the first place. So next step here, I'm going to rotate. I'm going to temporarily, remember, I got to be able to put this next to the red, green, and white corner, but I can't put it next to the red, green, and white corner if I'm going to move the red, green, and white corner with it. Because otherwise they'll always stay oriented, they'll always stay apart. So I need to move this down into the bottom layer temporarily so I can put this next to it. And then once, so first step, okay, this green and white is going to end up coming down to the bottom layer here so I can, where it's out of the way. And then I will, once it's out of the way, let's see, green, red, and white, all right. So once that's out of the way here, okay, it's right there. I'm going to bring it down to the bottom. And then I can install this where it needs to be, and then I can put the corner back up where it was, and then they'll be next to each other. So, but I want to make sure when I'm doing that, because remember, whatever comes up here, when this rotates, what's moving up? This corner here. So these are corner pieces I don't care about. Now, if I work with a different corner, though, if I have it in the wrong spot here, what happens? If I don't have these faces, the same colored faces looking at me, and I move this near side corner, then I'm going to move something up that I've already completed. And then, even worse, if I rotate this, I'm moving it even more out of the way. I don't want to move this more than I absolutely need to. So that's this is why I like to teach it visually like this. Look for the red and green faces here, and then, like I say, white's facing sideways like this. So I'm gonna just, these three here, this is the corner that you don't care about what goes on with it. So move that instead. Don't move corners that you've already completed. Okay, now here's my green, red, and white corner right here. It's moved temporarily out of the way, and now I can move my red and green from here to there by just rotating the up face clockwise one turn. Okay, now that I have it in place, now I can put my corner piece back where I found it, which was from here to there. Okay, and then I got my white back where it was, like it was. So just to confirm that you've done things correctly, I would look at this, make sure that it's, look at it, everything's done the way it was before. Okay, now, green and red again. Okay, here are my two green and red pieces right here. Again, I'm looking for the adjacent corner and adjacent edge together. If I have one but not the other, I'm not in the right spot. Okay, I'm not in the right spot because I have adjacent corner here, but I don't have adjacent edge. Okay, if I rotate like this, I have adjacent edge but not adjacent corner. That's not right either. I'm rotate again. Now I have adjacent corner and adjacent edge. That's what I want to see. So now I'm in a position where I can install it. Yeah, once I'm set up, I'm gonna put my finger over the pair that stays together, and rotate the corner that I'm installing it in a way that won't affect my finger where my fingers are at. So I'll come up like that, because again, remember these pieces here don't belong there anyway. What do I care about what goes on with them? So move this upward. Now I can move my corner piece that I'm working with over the top of the corner. And then this, because I moved this side over up the first time, I need to move it back down. Okay, now this completes the Jessica version of the first two layers. Yeah, now to confirm though, I'm going to show you. See, we got white completely done. See, red completely done. Blue is completely done. Orange is completely done, and then green is completely done. Now we just have the last layer to work on. Okay, so that'll complete this particular video. We'll move on and start working on the top layer. There's several steps to the top layer. And also, if you did see a condition on this part of on this first two layer part that maybe I didn't cover because maybe I forgot it, or maybe you need some help, don't hesitate to ask in the comments, or I can get with you on it, or you can even send me a screenshot or of what you have, or but some way we can work with that. All right, so that's all for this. We'll move on to the next video. Thanks.